Oh, here, this is good. Yeah, right, yeah, I think it 5, but I don't know. And I don't know that we're gonna get that tonight anyway. Just in case.
We need to make sure we get walk away with, we were talking, we walk away with the next 2 dates, so Tammy can.
Yes, well, and that's, I've got this printed out, so,
Good for you.
but these, well, actually, yes.
Here.
Wait, tell me, you see if there's not dates you can make. Are we live?
Are we live?
Okay, we're live. Okay, well, first off, before we start, I want to welcome everybody. Thank Daniel Hendry, he's our IT guy at the Township. For those of you who don't know him, he's helped us on many things, the phones, the computers. But anyway, this is our inaugural televised meeting, and looking forward to being able to serve the public. I'm William Wright with the Center Township trustee in Hendricks County. Beth Harvey, board member. Jeff Bellamy is our legal counsel. Patsy Nguyen. Dee Oliphant is not present, but in accordance with our agenda and times, we're going to go ahead and get started. So,
Sure.
do you want to call the meeting? Or?
Sure, yeah, I will. Welcome. Like you said, I'm board president, Beth Harvey. We do have a quorum with Patsy and myself present. I did receive information just in the last hour that Mrs. Oliphant is resigning effective immediately from this board, so she won't be in attendance, and whatever steps needs to take place, they will happen.
We will address that outside of the meeting.
Okay. New business, the resolution for sale of the fire engine.
Okay, we've got, oh, and please don't be like me and silence your cell phones, please.
Aren't you, are you having to call you back?
She's gonna send me a text. We're good. Thank you. And you wanted to bring it, you said the resolution for the sale of the fire truck?
Yes, please.
Okay, it should be, should be this top one that I just handed out.
Resolution of the Township Board.
Yes.
The Township, okay.
So would one of you like to read it, or would you like me to?
You go right ahead.
Okay.
This is for the yellow ladder truck, correct?
No. Well, which vehicle is it?
Which truck are you selling?
Yep, on behalf of Chief Duncan, thanks for letting me be here today. We're selling an old rescue truck. It's out at Station 192. Looks like a big square box. No, we're keeping the ladder truck. We need that one, even though it is yellow. It's the other one. It's not utilized right now. It's been for sale in the stores for quite a while. We had a great offer on it, so that is the reason to remove that. It no longer fits in the direction that the organization stands.
And this was approved last year, Jeff, was it?
Yeah, we actually had a motion and an approval last spring, knowing that it wasn't going to be in service, and we just need to catch up. This is just paperwork. We need to get this off the
book,
off the capital plan.
Can I just stop this a minute?
Please.
Where's the minutes book?
The minutes for that meeting, I've got them.
Huh? Do you have the minutes book down there, Patsy?
I have the minutes.
Can you go get that for us?
I have the minutes that refer to this right here. Pass
You're
these.
gonna have to, because
We'll pass it down there.
okay.
We just want the.
Is that what you're referring
Well, I want to be able to write the minutes for tonight.
Okay, all right.
I was just like, oop, I can take some notes, but.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna,
I just
she's gonna go
realized
grab the
nobody
book
was
for us
taking
real
minutes.
quick.
Okay.
Okay. Well, that's right, Dee's not here, so.
Yeah, Dee was the secretary,
Yeah,
so, okay,
We can make do for tonight.
yeah, we'll be fine.
okay, so, all right, so you're gonna do the minutes, correct? Or would you like
I can
Patsy?
make notes, and Patsy and I can write them in and get them approved at the next meeting.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll be
Okay.
fine.
Would that
Okay.
be all right?
Okay. All right, well, then I'm gonna go ahead and read the resolution. This is the Township Board of Center Township, Hendricks County, Indiana. The board met at a duly called and authorized meeting of the board on the date set forth. Such meeting being called pursuant to notice stating time, place, and purpose of the meeting received by all board members and published according by statute. And the following resolutions were made, seconded, and adopted by those present at the meeting, which constitute a majority of the board. Whereas Center Township had a 2000 Pierce Heavy Rescue, correct?
Yes.
in its firefighting inventory, but no longer actively is used by the Danville Fire Department, hereafter referred to as equipment. And whereas Township Board finds the Center Township can no longer effectively use the equipment in providing fire and emergency services, or the equipment has surpassed its useful life to the citizens of the township. Whereas Indiana Code 52222 permits the township to dispose of surplus personal property no longer needed or useful to the township. Now, therefore, be resolved, the township trustee is hereby authorized and empowered as the purchasing agent for the township to take all actions necessary to dispose of the equipment pursuant to the provisions of Indiana Code 52222. Dated this date, and we'll just need a vote on it.
We have to do it again because,
We didn't actually surplus it, we just agreed to sell it.
oh,
So this is
Okay.
making a resolution acknowledging what you did a year ago.
okay, all right.
And just so you know, when we talk, it's probably a little hard to pick up. We didn't get all the microphones quite. I mean, it'll be on there, but it might be a little low. So if you want to,
Okay.
just so you know.
It's
So
picking you guys up.
it is big as, okay.
The AC is
My
not helping.
understanding is, excuse me, that that we're selling this truck for $100,000,
Yes,
$100,000 to someplace in New York. Okay.
correct.
Randolph Fire District.
Randolph Fire District? Okay. All right, so I guess we put this up for a vote, so.
Patsy, a call for motion?
I make a motion that we sell the heavy-duty rescue vehicle in the amount of $100,000 to the Randolph District in New York.
A second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
And so we need to date it today's date, correct?
Yes.
And what
Well, we
resolution?
only,
Which one? Are you signing?
okay,
Okay, she's.
all right, we
I
only need
didn't
one
know
of
what
them. I gave everybody a copy.
What
But we're only-
resolution number goes in on top of
Kevin,
it?
what was our, 503?
25-03.
25-03. Okay.
25-03
Correct.
-03.
And Tammy, I'm just gonna pass these directly to you when we're done. So Beth could just slide them down.
Here we go. So what's the date? You said the date, 26?
Yeah, 26, I can put it on there. August.
Okay, here's this one. Oh, wait, here's the back part of it.
I just paid attention to what brought the markers up.
Well, I'll set these in the PDF going forward.
Must have been an attorney that did that.
Well, you know. They charge extra for this. For the post margin.
Just a little bit. Okay, so the sale of the truck has been really taken care of, yes.
Where do you want this?
The resolution we just signed
Just if you'll put it in the book.
in the book.
Yeah, that way I'll find it tomorrow and I'll scan it because I have to.
Okay. I'm gonna write the minutes after you. Okay, second order of business is purchase of new trucks.
Let's get these gentlemen to explain what they've got.
Yes.
Budget, could you guys come up here so we can hear you a little better and possibly even be seen?
Yeah, if you guys go to that side, I can hang a little
I'd
bit.
like to know what kind of trucks and all that kind of stuff.
Sure, actually, one question I have is we're requesting decommission 2 agent vehicles first. And that is a.
Okay, hold on, because we're getting out of order on the agenda.
I can't, we gotta stick with purchase of new trucks.
Okay. So the purchase of new trucks, those are to replace 2 existing vehicles that we have, 2025 Chevy Tahoes. This is with the Kelly Automotive Group. These vehicles were available at state bid. They're $51,555 each. And what we're looking for right now is the source funding for $90,000 for the sale of the heavy rescue, and then $13,110 in the community fund. These vehicles are already set up. They're just like police department vehicles. They're on government bids. They're already pretty much pre-wired. They have the bigger alternators. They have the rubber floors. They have all the bells and whistles for us as emergency responders to be able to put. They don't have a center console. That's where we put our equipment in. they're already designed and ready to go for what we utilize them for. I'll give you a little history behind the two vehicles, or aging vehicles. They both have rust. They're going away, so that's kind of the purpose behind that and the aging lines.
Okay,
By the way, you probably should introduce yourself. Give your.
Alex Brand, Deputy Chief of Operations. I'm here on behalf of Chief Duncan.
All right,
Thank you.
okay. Beth, I have a few questions.
Sure.
Number one, you said these were 51,555, which is going to be over the $100,000 that's in the bank
Correct.
already. So my question is, where are we supposed to get this money to buy these trucks?
Okay, well, what I was led to believe is there's a cumulative fund, and that's where we were wanting to see about the $13,110 to pull out of that.
Now, if I'm correct, Jeff, all the funds, the whole 103 has to be appropriated, correct?
Well, in our cume fund, we have $75,000 appropriated for 2025.
But that's for everything.
Total,
That's
that's
what we
not
have,
the
that's our
balance in the
balance.
fund.
That's our balance right
That's
now.
not the cash balance, that's the appropriated balance for 2025.
For those of you at home, that's Tammy with the new net estimate.
So, I mean, are you,
Office administrator.
I know we got $100,000 for them, but we'll have to have that done as an additional,
Right. we'll
because we
to
only
do
have
the appropriation.
75,000 appropriated, and
Well,
we're gonna need 100,
I have
103,000.
Yeah, I'd like to say, I know we went through the fire territory meetings and certain commitments and things were made, certain funding was established. We thought we were gonna get 53 cents and now it's down to 40 cents. With everything that's coming up and everything that the legislature is doing, and in checking with Jeff and Bill, I haven't talked to Beth because we really can't talk that much. Anyway, finding out that we have to have money in our funds to pay for cemetery, to pay for poor relief, and to pay for a lot of other things. So right now, and I know this is gonna sound harsh, I do not want to spend any money for any new trucks. I think that should be up to the fire territory, because if we purchase these trucks, then we have to pay the insurance for the rest of the year, okay? And then my next question is gonna be, this truck that you're taking to New York, do you have to pay any funds to get it to New York?
Oh, no, this is all on the purchaser.
So that's all of them, they're gonna come get
Purchase,
it? Okay,
the money's transferred. My understanding, that money's already been transferred, and they're working on right now getting a way to transfer it. That's all on there. They take
Well-
all reliability and responsibility.
well, with everything that I'm hearing from the state and from other people, it appears that the township is not gonna have that much money in 2026, or especially 2027. So we really have to watch our money. So I am not for the purchase of new trucks.
Okay, Jeff, now I'm gonna rely on your expertise. I mean, it's a
Point. So I respect that completely, Patsy. However, the sale of the fire truck allows $100,000. So only $3,000.
No.
The agreement
13, go
they
ahead, Bill.
made was 90,000, and they are paying $10,000 shipping costs.
Yeah, they are paying the
So how
10,000.
much would
So
come from
there's
the Q fund?
$13,100.
So we would have $13,110 going to.
And I'm not for spending taxpayer money. When we have the 90,000 in there, that we need to wait to see what we're gonna have to do with the money. Because I do not want to have to do a tax on the people from Center and Danville in 2027, because in the fire territory meeting, we all committed that we were not gonna do this sort of thing. So I'm really against buying 2 new trucks.
And again, if I may, the reason behind that wasn't to ever come to this board and to say that we're requesting $100,000 plus $103,000. We're only requesting it because of the sale of that truck. And that would assist and offset for our future maintenance costs in the purchase of those vehicles. That's the only reason why we came, just so you know as well. We would never approach this board, and we didn't approach the board as the full price. We're only approaching it as the aspect of, we're trying to get money from what we just recently.
I understand, and also,
Deputy Chief Strong.
And I believe with the selling of that truck, that money has to be used back to purchase other apparatus or other equipment for the actual fire department. Is that not true?
I'd have to check, but
Okay.
I know it has to go back into the fund that it came out of.
That's
Yes.
back to the source fund.
Okay,
Yes.
just one, because.
Now, but then it probably has to be appropriated after that,
Okay,
so.
just want to make sure that it wasn't like already earmarked or set aside for new apparatus down the road since we sold old apparatus.
well, see, then what we have to
Good
do is
point,
we
thank
gotta do the insurance, and then, the insurance would have to turn over to the fire territory and all that stuff to go back. I say wait and let the fire territory take care of these trucks, because they are going to have money.
Can I ask a couple questions just to fill out the record? So your delta here, you're netting about 90K off of the heavy rescue sale.
Yes.
And it comes back to whatever the source fund was. And so your delta's 13.1. So there's enough for one truck, no matter. How long is Kelly, I deal with this all over the state, on October 14th, you get it for this amount. On October 16th, the same vehicle, the same device is 8, 9, 10, 11, 4% more.
So
Do
this-
you expect a price increase on
And
that
Mr. Bellis,
vehicle?
that's a great question. So we have actually locked in that price at the lowest rate that we've had so far. We've been in communication with Kelly, and we've locked that in at the lowest possible rate for about a month. They're actually holding it. We can release it. There's no cost for that. But what we did do is lock in that rate. And you are correct, the prices do fluctuate that much.
When is that, when are they gonna say the ship sails? I mean, how long? Because there's some questions that might get ironed out.
That I honestly do not have that answer, but I will imagine it's very soon because we are approaching the 30 days.
Well, let's treat it this way. You have a need, there may be a deal, maybe it goes up a little, maybe it goes up a lot. Her concerns are very valid. So you had said something important tonight. Are you saying that we did in the last budget appropriate up to $75,000 out of CUME and we've not spent it yet?
There's $75,000 appropriated in CUME fund.
And so we're slight either way. We're light by 33,000 of appropriated money for this purchase, no
And
matter
that's
the
not counting
source.
the insurance, that's just.
38.
Well,
if-
okay,
The
thank you.
insurance will come out of
Well, that's separate. I want to talk about insurance separate. So this body, even if they were amenable, does not have enough fire equipment money appropriated. So for the September meeting, if they want to consider it, they have to do an additional appropriation of the 38K.
That's correct.
But they could do one truck because they were planning to spend 75 with or without a territory. We have budgeted that this time last year.
They budgeted for something.
For
There
some,
wasn't anything in the works at that time. That's what we budgeted in 25, and 24. And that's what we budgeted for 25, but with nothing set in stone that we were going to spend the $75,000 on.
but we were for sure as a group comfortable to spend 75.
I would agree with that.
So
yes.
our delta's 38. You've got it.
That is correct. We have got the money from, the $100,000 is already in our bank account.
So
100 or 90?
Well,
100,000.
100's been deposited, 10,000 is already earmarked per the deal to transport the vehicle. So we're at 90.
Correct.
So we are paying $10,000 to transport
No,
the
there's correction
vehicle.
on that. The 10,000 was the seller's fee for the selling company that listed it online.
That's not what I was told.
And I've heard two different stories.
Yeah, that's not, I was told it was to transport the vehicle.
No, and we had listed through Ridley Mountain Online. It's a fire apparatus sales company.
Okay.
Well,
And that
before I do
10,000
anything, I want clarification on this money and I want everything definite and I just.
I can tell you the
spend
10,000.
taxpayer money.
I've worked
like
the
this.
sales since we listed it a year ago.
So
and that's-
how's the vehicle going to be transported then?
And they are completely paying for that for themselves.
This-
They-
the
that
buyer.
Buyer is responsible for transportation from here to New York.
Okay.
So this
Do
isn't.
you have any documentation that says that?
Yes.
Where?
All the documentation that has been sent over for the sale and everything.
So
Have you seen that, Danny?
I don't know what I have. Do
You
we
see
owe
it
this,
there?
do we
I-
owe
I'd have to check.
$10,000
I mean, I
to the direct
was aware of
seller?
the deal.
So is our net 90,000 or 100?
Net will be 90.
90.
So we owe the selling company 10,000. Okay.
So our net is 90.
Yeah, so it's no different than if we had Freegee run an
Correct.
auction
Correct.
and the auctioneer is gonna take their
Yeah.
stated fee
And they don't take their fee until it's completely finalized.
until the deal goes through. They don't
Yes, they
take,
gotta
they
make
don't take
sure.
it for selling it, they take it for delivery, I mean, completed transaction. So that, I get all that. So this isn't any different than any other standard that the auctioneer is gonna take
Right.
their commission.
And that's why, again, with that funding source, we listed it as 90,000.
So you're really, so just so everybody understands, you'd already agreed last year that we needed to appropriate 75K. Your needs have changed from a possible ambulance to 2 attack vehicles or command vehicles, whatever. We're light on the 75 to get to 103. So we don't have enough appropriated that they could even spend right now for both. So that still has to be done and advertised. And we're light from the proceeds of the Pierce by 13 and small change.
No, well, if I can, it's not that we're doing away with the ambulance. This is replacing 2 vehicles.
Right.
You're
So
actually
the
replacing
ambulances-
two other vehicles. If you remember, here recently, I had brought you some paperwork that we signed for.
Yes.
We actually saved over $135,000 in discounted on the ambulance that we purchased
Correct.
now. That's in manufacturing. So we were able to reduce that price
Yes.
by
And you guys
roughly
did a
$130,000.
fantastic job.
What do you think you can get for the replacements? I think Eel River didn't pay very much the playing field on some stuff. I know that secondary market's not great. Perhaps they go for $13,100. I mean,
And they might, again,
Who knows?
I would never even know. Yeah.
but and that's
Because
another thing we have to do.
they're trucks, they're pickup trucks.
But that's another thing we have to do. We'll have, if you go through this, we got to deal with the first part. Those have to be surplus off too. So there's a delta of 13.1 that's got to be crossed, and you know that's going to net out by perhaps 13, perhaps 5, perhaps 6.
What year are those vehicles?
So the one is a 2012 Ford pickup truck crew cab, and the other one.
2012?
And one's a 2016 Dodge.
So we're looking for 60, you know, 60, yeah, 6K a piece.
And that's why I
So-
brought up in the beginning about the surplus. This was just
Yeah.
according to an email, and that's why I didn't know the order.
6550, so, I gotta believe they'd sell for that.
I think you're probably back. Who knows? I mean, I don't.
So we
wanna-
could be flush, I mean,
I think you'd be real close. Now, can you get an answer before the next meeting on how the insurance is dealt with? And that way they can be.
I can
fully
call Jim
informed?
tomorrow.
well, we're gonna be canceling
Or
the
I can,
insurance.
well, what I'll do is
on
I'll
2 of the
talk to
vehicles.
Dustin to find out what they are.
So there's a delta there too.
Yes,
I'll have to have the VIN numbers, and if I can give Jim the VIN numbers, he should be able to tell me what insurance cost is.
Now, the fire truck that this Delta, this Randolph County place is buying, that insurance is gonna stay in effect until it gets to the location, right? So we have to cover that insurance till it gets to New York, right?
I think
No,
the better
once
insurance is
it's loaded on there, the trucking company that
Trucker's
is
gotta cover it.
transporting it.
Trucker's
so-
gotta cover
well,
it.
since we now know they're the ones picking it up. Yeah,
Okay.
it's gonna be from when they pick it up.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm not so sure from the day I signed the title over to them that it's
I think that'd be
gonna be their fault. I would say so.
So- So yeah, going into a resolution, I don't know if that's the plan yet. And again, if you would like to table it, we can table it and have more discussion on it.
I have absolutely no say. I'm just trying to make sure everybody knows.
Well, just so I make sure that is the vision moving forward, right? If we do want to surplus them or if we want to keep one and use it as a spare or a backup, I'm sure one of them will want to try to get rid of, but
Well, and all the discussion and everything that we've had and the money's involved and all that, I'm still of the same opinion. I do not want to purchase 2 trucks right now. I think the fire territory should do that. And that way they would pay the insurance, they would pay everything, and they could deal with all of that, and then we're totally out of it. Otherwise, we're gonna be transferring all the time.
Would, does this require a vote or?
Well, it's gonna, I mean, if she doesn't want to approve it or make a motion, then it just kind of sits.
That's what I was
As it
before I was
is.
getting. So for right now, today, it's tabled.
It's, if right now, there's no action on it.
Okay.
Patsy, does it make any difference since, I mean, there's gonna be some difference between insuring a 2016 pickup and a 2024 pickup. But we're already paying some amount of insurance on the pickups now. I mean, does that matter to you?
We got, everything we spend matters to me right now, since we've really gotta watch it. I mean, you know, we're
Sure.
gonna have a tight budget, and people are gonna have to realize that.
Sure.
And, you know, the taxpayers, you know, when it comes to time for us to do something with cemeteries or poor relief and all that, and, you know, we've got the firemen, you know, that have been wanting things for years, and now they're gonna get what they need with the fire territory. I say let the fire territory take care of it.
Well, we're gonna have a meeting and we'll have this conversation towards the end, but we're gonna have a meeting probably in the next 2 to 3 weeks. We're gonna have to. So, you know, I'm saying give us another 21 days. If you would like, I could call the dealership and talk to them and say, hey, how bad do you want our business?
yeah, and I don't think that's an issue. Like,
Okay.
Mr. Bellamy said, you know, it does fluctuate. We did just lock in.
Okay,
And again, if we go 2, 3 weeks, that's something that.
yeah,
always
just,
reach out.
obviously, it's not gonna happen today.
Sure.
So,
Yeah,
I will put this
questions can be
back.
asked and answered across the board on those purchases, because I think we're all over the place kind of right now on what's being surplus, what's not being surplus with current vehicles, what we'd like to see spent with that money type of.
I mean, you guys definitely have an aging fleet, and let's face it, you're playing catch up.
Yes.
I mean, I see the runs come out every day, back to back. So, I don't know how you're not. I mean,
And I think Chief Duncan's email that he sent out to everybody, it pretty much laid out his vision on this whole process. So if you guys haven't seen that email that he sent out to all you guys,
I've got a letter he sent.
that basically broke down everything that he wanted to work on towards purchasing those 2 vehicles.
All right, so it's gonna get tabled for today, so I'll put it on the agenda for our next meeting. And, we'll get this taken care of. Okay?
Thank you, gentlemen, we
Thank you,
appreciate
chiefs.
it.
I have a question.
Tammy, yes.
Jeff, should we still go ahead and do an additional, so, or advertise so that if it is decided at the next meeting?
You can,
Because if we don't have, I mean, if it's not approved, it's no harm, no foul, if it's advertised and it's not approved.
I mean,
Yeah,
We can't do anything
we
if
could
it's not
advertise
advertised.
it. It won't hurt anything even if we don't bring it up.
yeah, advertise
Here's
it.
this letter he sent me.
Yeah, and then perhaps you find out it's net even on insurance or close. And then, guys,
We still have to advertise it either way, because we don't have enough money. I mean, we have enough cash, we don't have enough appropriation.
if you bought one, we could do one because you've got it in. You don't have enough for 2.
We could, yes.
It'd be great. I mean, I know the dealer won't want to commit, but if he could give you what he thinks his ballpark is for what he'd give in trade. I know we don't trade, but if he'd give you somewhere of a floor for the trucks, that way you'd understand your true spend.
I have one other thing to say. I know like with the cemeteries, we do have to watch our money because we don't have a rate for general fund or for township assistance, because we've always used our lit money. But, the cube fire, we can't use for purposes of general fund or township assistance, so, I mean, if we decide not to get trucks, we don't get to keep it for the purposes of doing those anyway. We've
We
got to
cannot
find
pay,
another
you will not,
source of revenue for township general and for, assistance.
we will not be able to use any unspent cumulative funds
It's all gonna have to
insurance or operations or pay or anything, or probably not rent. We can spend it on the demolition work that needs done at the cemetery. We can spend it on other fire equipment or other cemetery physical improvements, but we can't spend it on overhead.
Now, you're still going to do the house burn, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Because at one time I heard that was off due to close to utility.
Yeah, right now it's under the inspection from the IM in the city.
Okay, I think that was the one. Okay.
Thank you very
Sorry.
much for
Well,
that.
Thank you, appreciate
All
the
right, so Beth,
presentation.
you
We'll
want to,
address it.
let's move on to the next one.
Next is, we need to appoint a fire territory board member. And we were gonna talk about candidates and see if we were up for appointment tonight. I know of one candidate that has been, brought forward, and it was by me, it was Laurel Setzer. She's the director of.
What was the last name?
Setzer,
Setzer.
Setzer.
Now, does she live in Center Township?
She does. She lives outside of town limits,
Yeah,
but in
by Joseph,
Center Township.
On 200,
I
She
don't
lives
know.
on Washington Street, north of 200.
north of 200,
She lives on
okay.
the west side of the road, probably about the second or third house.
She's in the unincorporated area.
Yeah, and I do want to thank you, Beth. I think that I read the information you sent.
Yep.
And she seems like she's a very qualified candidate, very knowledgeable, and, I like the picture too. And, I think that she would be a good candidate, and I don't think this is something that we need to put off. I think this is something we need to go ahead and get
I
done.
can't tell you, forgive me for interrupting, I know there were people in this audience that had questions about that. Are we able
Well,
to?
first I want to see if there's any other candidates
That's what I was
that you're
talking,
bringing
yes.
to the board.
Is there anybody in the public that wanted to talk about that? Yes, sir.
I'm Scott Buckner, I live in Center Township. I'd like to be looked at and be on that board.
So Scott, can you tell us about yourself?
Scott, can you come up here?
Yeah.
And
Please.
just speak up and give your name so that we can.
So I'm Scott Buckner. I've lived in Danville 24 years now, and I spent 20 years part-time with Danville Fire. I'm building inspector for Hendricks County for 14 years, and now the facilities manager for Hawk Rescue. So I've basically been here 24 years, lived and worked here.
Okay, so you work for Danville?
I work for Danville part-time.
Okay, currently?
But no, I do not.
Oh, okay, all right.
I left, ended up getting esophageal cancer, and I decided after that I was done, give it up.
Oh, sorry
Thank you for
about
your
that.
service.
I appreciate that. I still follow fire department. I talk to them quite a lot. I see how they're going, how things are building, growing, and stuff like that. I'd like to be a part of making sure all that's done evenly and in a good way.
And you're in the unincorporated.
I am.
Okay.
Live up
So I was
50 West.
asking Jeff earlier, what were the qualifications or whatever for that position? And basically, you said, just living out in the township. And are you familiar, I'm sure you are, with the fundings of of a fire territory
I
and things
would
like
say.
that? Getting started, I'm sure there are going to be a lot of meetings. And
There's a
I
lot of
don't believe
meetings.
there's any pay for this position. Is that correct?
That's going to be decided with the budgeting for the territory, and my guess is we're awful thin for the first couple rounds. It may come later, but also too, because some of the members may be elected into other positions, we have to do a dual lucrative analysis of how we do that.
I was gonna say, I didn't think the people that held office now would be allowed.
Yeah, well, I'd have to review it, so I would say if there's some desire to pass a future budget where they get a stipend or a pay or something, well, I'm gonna have to get a clearance on it, but I think you should expect it will be a pay range of 0 to very, very little, so then we'll let the board decide.
Do you have any questions for us?
I'm not worried about the pay at all. I believe I can bring a little bit of the knowledge of how the fire department works and things like that. Being on the fire department for 20 years, I think I've seen it, understand it. I don't know it all, but I think I can make a good candidate for it.
Well, thank you very much for coming forward. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
The other person that I had mentioned earlier was Justin Dorsey. And I got sick and I did not have a chance to speak with him, nor do I
I
know.
did reach out.
You did?
And I didn't get hold of him directly, but I explained why I was calling, and that if he, had an interest, get back to me.
He did not get back?
Yes. He has not
Okay.
gotten back to me.
Well, I got sick and, getting over COVID and something else. But anyway, I did not get with him or anything like that. So, I'm open to,
So Beth, what would you suggest or recommend?
Oh, I was gonna default to Jeff to see if, is there a reason why we should take it to our next meeting, or should it be something we do tonight?
I would, unless you see a reason to table it, you've got the good kind of problem. I looked at Mrs. Stetzer's background, and, she's running one of the more active suburban libraries, and we're going to use terms and timelines, budgeting timelines and things like that, that are not going to be foreign to her. She's going to understand what she means when we say additional appropriation. She's going to have some understanding of, why we have to procure things a certain way. At the other end of it, Mr. Buttram is going to understand when we talk about OSHA and NFPA and building codes, and, he's going to understand perhaps what our process someday, probably soon, of discussing safety board or merit. And so he's got a leg up. So having been in public life, starting zoning side 25 years ago, and then the last however long heavy and fire, like I say, you've got a good problem. And I don't see anything right now why you would want to roll it forward. You may. What's going to need to happen, though, pretty soon is we're going to have to probably convene a territory meeting here in a couple of weeks, because we're going to have to do a crash course with that budget. And when we knew that was going to be the case, we always knew we were going to be short of time, and then SB1 shortened our time even farther because of DLGF adjusting it. So I think what you'll want to do is probably get your decision made so that person can be in the pool. We would have a quorum, but I think you want to have all five available.
Right.
And so your problem is going to be with the change in your composition is that you're going to have to be unanimous with your selection. And so unfortunately, and I've been around here long enough, we've often had to search the cupboards for help, and here we have what I think sound like.
We just do both.
yeah, I wish we could do both.
You've got two really nice candidates.
And for the public's information out there, the reason that we have to pick the fire territory member from Center Township is because the 3 board members, well, now we only have 2 board members, live in Danville. So, and that's why, the board member has to come from Center Township. And of course, the trustee will be represented, Bill will be part of our representation, Bill and whoever we decide. So I just wanted the public out there to know that Beth and I just didn't decide we don't want to be on it, we just can't.
With him being gone, can you have someone else that's in?
What'll happen there is they'll have to do
We'll have to-
caucus, a special election to fill that position that'll be the precinct committee,
Yeah. And
and with it. So, people, thank you.
So I guess I need to call for a motion. I can call it, or you can call it, if you want to bring one person in particular, Patsy.
Well, guess I've been pretty opinionated tonight. I may as well go ahead and continue. I would like to nominate Laurel Stetzer for the territory board member.
A second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We could do two, sir. I would have you in there.
And if someone feels like this thing gets started and they can't do it, we'll be happy to give you a call. We'll keep your name in our records and know that, you had a very good interest and that you're qualified and that type of thing.
I can think of some other spots that we'll talk later.
Because we need a lot of help,
Yeah.
especially with not having any money.
Hey, it's the way of the world now. Okay, so,
Thank you.
thank you.
Okay,
Moving on.
we're down to D.
Yep, library board member appointment. Township appoints someone to that board.
I have one gentleman that has been recommended by Tracy from courthouse grounds. Dang it.
His name is
Yeah,
Brig
Brig Francois.
Francois. Are you Brig Francois?
Oh.
Would you please?
Hey, will you come up here, please?
Yeah, will
Okay.
you please come back and tell us a little about yourself? We certainly would appreciate it.
Yeah, of course.
Wait, how do you spell Francois? I know I messed it up.
FRANCOIS.
Forgot the C. So, okay, fantastic. Well, I can tell you that you were very highly recommended by Tracy. And I think the world of him, and I value his opinion, so I was definitely interested to see what you had to say. So, are you familiar with the position, the board?
I know that the board plays a role in advocating for the library along with
Absolutely.
financial oversight. And I know particularly right now, the library budget, that's a big,
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
Every municipality or entity. But anyway, why don't you just take a couple minutes, tell us about yourself and your desire to serve.
yeah, so I'm Rick Francois. I've been in Danville for coming up on 2 years. So, I haven't been here as long as a lot of people in town, but
Say coming up, when is 2 years?
December.
Okay, Jeff?
There are limited requirements for being on the board. And one of the requirements is have resided in the district for at least 2 years immediately preceding the appointment. So that does not necessarily permanently disqualify your candidate. It just means your candidate's a little bit premature
By a couple of
by weeks, not much longer. So
Could they be,
if they have the means and the ability to conduct work, if the library director feels like that they can't get what they need done, then Mr. Francois can attend as a citizen. And then once his residency ripens here in the holiday season, he can be your appointment at that time if they can run with an opening. Should that be your desire, and he still wants to do it then.
I think the public should know that the reason we have this position open is because Mr. Johansson, who was on the board, has moved out of state. So that's why this position became available.
and I want to publicly thank Mr. Johansson for all he did. He was
He did a good
he's a great
job.
gentleman, good job, stepped up, was there to help whenever you needed him. Yes, well, yeah, the board member, they moved, I think, to Bloomington, so. So how would you like or suggest to handle this?
That's really at the discretion of the board. If they want to hold the position and do a little more discussion, because they know we've been working on it quickly. As we've discussed, we're going to have a couple more meetings real soon. Table this, and maybe you could phone down to the director and tell him our predicament, because as with the other position, we've got the good kind of problem. You have someone that's highly recommended and interested, available, but almost qualified. He can observe the board meetings if there are any coming up, but if for some reason they're in a position where they absolutely have to have somebody. And I think this is like a 7-person board, so I think they're gonna be able to do business. But see if that would be acceptable to the director, that he just kind of observes ex officio and then full on joins in early December. That's one way to go. You can always try for another time if there's someone else who's immediately available, but I'm not sure. I'm hearing that there's some bond issue or grant or some other major thing that they're holding up waiting on your spot.
Well, I think I'd
Well-
like, should I make a motion?
Well, you just table it to next
To
week.
table it
Yeah,
to next,
okay.
to next month,
Yes.
okay. I
Um,
make a motion that we table this to next month till we can find out more information from the director of the library and
Okay.
see where we are.
But I
And
still.
thank you very,
well,
very
wait a minute,
much.
wait. I'd still like to hear about you and what
Oh,
you think
yes,
you want to
definitely.
offer or have to offer.
Yeah, of course. I'm a software engineer for a financial tech company. I've been doing that for a little while, and I work remotely, so I have a lot of flexibility with my schedule. I've been able to attend, for instance, the library meeting and support at that capacity. What was I going to say? Sorry.
No, you're
lost
good.
my
Our
train of
three
thought.
viewers understand. So don't feel any pressure.
Yeah, no, but I'm passionate about the library. I understand the role that it plays in communities and how it can be a blessing to communities, especially communities of this size. And I've lived in small towns, I've lived in big cities, I've lived in suburban areas, and I've been to the libraries there. And, you know, I haven't been in Danville my whole life. I feel like I can offer a fresh perspective. And, you know, it's something that I'm passionate about. And if the opening is still available in December, I'll be there. And if not, I'm still going to help out with the Friends of the Library Foundation.
Fantastic. All right, well, thank you.
Thank you very, very much. And thank you for coming down on such short notice.
Yes.
Appreciate that.
Absolutely.
I got to run back to work, but it was nice to meet you all.
All right.
Thank you.
Take care. Thank you.
All right, so we've tabled that,
All right.
and now, discussion about the 2026 budget.
God bless you.
Nobody's got any rotten vegetables with them or anything.
You have a
Okay.
copy of
Well-
the budget right here. I think I'm looking at it.
Yeah, but well, no, you don't. You do and you don't. You've got expenditures and stuff. But this is a constantly moving target. I know Beth is becoming intimately familiar with it. I know Jeff is. So I don't even know really where to start. We've got the capital improvement plan. And just what is our budget going to be is unknown. What I'm doing is I prepared the budget. I put in a 3% increase, but I'm increasing housing and assistance and things. I'm trying to think if I doubled or tripled it, but I'm increasing it substantially because I'm seeing our need grow and the cost of everything. We're affected by inflation just like everybody else in this country. So the budget that I'm putting together, like I said, it's going to be 3% across the board with the exception of a few areas that I'm seeing greater need. But we've got to try and figure out the lit funds. I think, from what I understand, we'll be receiving them, but then we're just going to be pretty much a pass-through to the fire department, correct?
Not necessarily.
Not next year.
Not next
Not
year.
next
Your lit
year.
will remain your own.
And
It's a
lit-
2027.
And lit was released, so we know exactly how much we're
And the thing
doing.
is, when I looked on the lit, the one we got at the beginning of August, like August 2nd, this year in lit, we're getting 803,000, but for 2026, we're only getting like 806,000. So our lit's only increased by like $3,000 over this calendar year, which is really not very much.
A lot less than we were
Yeah,
anticipating. A
Right,
lot
because
less.
originally, I think some people said it might be $1 million, and we're
Yeah,
not
we
getting
were told
anywhere
million plus.
near $1 million in lit for 2026. At least on the preliminary sheets
And
that
that's-
they
That was
put
the
out.
reading projection.
Yeah, that's the problem. We just can't,
That's
we
really
don't know
not
where we
much.
stand.
But
and
we do
that's-
know where we stand for next year.
Yes,
Yes.
yes,
Mhm.
correct. But
And-
it's after that, we have no idea. I apologize, yeah.
That's all right. Well,
Good.
well, I can do this part or
Yeah, that would actually probably,
here.
because,
This is to bring, I didn't know about Dee's situation. Patsy and I spoke a little bit, and I just trust that you're already wrestling these issues in your day job. So you're going to be in this weird circumstance of you're going to have one more year of your expected lit, and that, I guess that's been released. And so you'll be able to firm up the township budget a little more for next year. But with Senate Bill 1, at the end of 27, you will not automatically be a recipient of any kind of income taxes that are required by law to be issued to the township. The whole income tax structure has been changed, and ironically, not funny ironic, but this time, well, in this location in the spring, we were kind of wrestling over these concerns from the school about the changes of the lit distribution. That's all out the window, 12/31/27. That discussion has been resolved by the General Assembly. We no longer go by pie slices. That's out. All the prior lits have been reset, rejected, and the county council by this time next summer will have to decide what new lits it wants to issue. The town can issue its own lits for its own purposes, which we will have nothing to do with. That will be for the town to deal with, for the town's obligations. The county council can adopt a 0.4 new public safety lit just for fire. Public safety now is very broad. It can be jail, can be prosecutor, it can be law enforcement, it can be fire. And because you formed a territory, if the county council decides to adopt that lit, then the territory will be qualified to receive it. It is not the council deciding if they get it or not. If you stayed as a township department before the territory, the council could decide whether or not a township got that lit. So if they adopt that lit, the territory will get it at whatever level they decide, and that will be up to a CPA determine the disbursement. There is a second lit, and that is for unincorporated areas, and it's up to 0.2, but it will net out to 0.05 to unincorporated areas. That will be your libraries, that will be your townships, that will be perhaps special purpose districts. And if the council does not adopt that, you will have no lit. So you will have income tax payers that you won't necessarily see an income tax come to you for cemeteries, township assistance, other ancillary services. You can still also be contributors to fire on spot projects if you wanted to be. So you're going from this amount you've been getting to potentially zero. I don't know what your council's attitude is to pursuing this. It would be a good time to start getting to know where they're at and letting them know what your needs are, both for public safety, same for you guys for public safety, and also for the unincorporated portion, so you let them know what your needs are. Bill has done a good job of being ahead of actually asking questions about future needs for cemeteries. Bill has also talked about, we really have next to no recreational opportunities outside of town. Those are things, you might want to talk about at different times. So you will have no new lit. I know councils perhaps feel put upon that, this issue's been shifted down to them. There are no lits that exist now that the county councils, if it's a county-wide lit, they didn't already approve. It just, they have to replace what has been taken off if they want to. So those are conversations you can have with your counselors, let them know what the impacts will be. So that led me, and before there was state guidance, I got asked, conscripted, whatever, to put on a talk for the Township Association. And that was to try to digest House Bill 1461, which is the road bill. I'm not going to go through all this. This is for you to read away from here if you want to. This was an hour talk. You don't want to hear that tonight. That leads us into business that we're going to have to get done next month before the 30th. And that's my birthday. So if you want to celebrate my birthday, yeah, make sure we have to have approved.
Maybe you didn't have popcorn.
Yeah, that's fine. I love the popcorn here.
I'll talk about that.
We have to approve your capital improvement plan. You may remember in 2019, there was a one-time only capital improvement plan that was done to just assess restricted and unrestricted funds for townships. They are now implementing that tool every year. And this goes in and gives the definition, and this goes through the memo that DLGF had out by that time. They now have templates and all this other stuff. Tammy and I corresponded on it. But the gist of this is, if you do not have dedicated funds, meaning, for lack of a better term, you have loose or fallow cash, not set aside for your cemetery expansion project, not set aside for new trucks or a new roof, or for a recreation project, or for planning on housing shelter, whatever's in your mission, and you have fallow, unspoken for, unplanned for cash on a 3-year look forward, 30% of that, not all of it, but 30% of that needs to be set aside and made available for a road and infrastructure fund. That road and infrastructure fund, you can then partner with the county or the town, because those would be the only two qualified, to do road and infrastructure projects that affect the township. Could be a drainage project, could be a road project, could be a parks path, could be whatever. But this is the first year for that. You do not have to make money available if your needs for your cemeteries, public safety. I feel like our public safety needs probably aren't met yet by both units yet, but those would exceed those. But if you have unrestricted cash with no plan to use it in 3 years, 30% of that and 30% every year needs to go over into this road fund. If you have money that goes into it, you do not automatically ship it out to a public works department or the surveyor or whatever. You then go and have a discussion about a project and you enter into what's called a memorandum of understanding. And that's a non-binding agreement that just says, hey, we've got this bad culvert out in the township. We've got some funds, we'll work on that. Or, hey, we'd like you, and I don't think this is all negative. You may have projects that really need attention that can't get on a unit's radar. You can go and say, hey, I'm gonna prime the pump. This is a bad intersection out in the township. I need some attention here. We can put forward some of our infrastructure funds. They don't come over to you and say, hey, we have this generic project. If you want to participate in it, great, but you aren't required. You can also go to them and say, we would like to work on this bad drainage problem, this bad intersection. You could even say, hey, would you partner on a recreation project and do some of the infrastructure for that? All this is you have to be ready for it. If you don't have a CIP approved and turned in by September 30th, all this discussion about trucks and budget and all the other, forget it. You will not get your levy for the next year. Once you get your CIP approved, we should send it to the council. It is very open-ended as to exactly what the council's role in this right now, but I think we should at least send it over and trying to follow what the old code does. But that is tied to code, that's tied to lit, that's about to become an antique. So we will get this in front of you next time. Tammy, this is one where we have a 10-day published notice, so it's really important that we pick those 2 dates tonight so she can publish.
We've got to get both of those in, and I'm gonna get it into the computer
Yeah.
before September.
Here's this.
No, you keep that.
Now, let me do the last bit, and then and then we can actually do calendars. So,
Well,
you-
to interject with this, looking at our budget, and as you said earlier, I need to address that, I just want to preface this, is there's a real possibility of us just not having any money to operate. So,
In 2027?
yes, and I, I apologize, that's why I'm not referring to 26. To me, we're already getting past that, but yes.
Yeah, 2027, we were gonna do that.
And actually, you said 12/31/27 is when, isn't it 12/31/26?
27, the end of 27 was when all the lit sunset.
I thought it was 26. The end of next year?
I guess the end of 27 when all the lit sunsets.
So we get lit for 2 years, 2 more years?
Well, he's questioning me, so
Okay, but
I will confirm, but I thought all lit sunset at the end of 27.
okay. I thought it was when 27 started, so that's what I was thinking. Anyway, we may have to look, as much as we don't like being good stewards of our money and everybody, we may have to look at a rate for the township. Because, these services
That
aren't,
makes sense.
yeah, and these services aren't gonna go away, so, Jeff and I have actually talked about this, and, I'm gonna look to hire one of, the CPA firms or something to come in and help us try and figure out what our best path is gonna be. Because, yeah, this is a big deal. It's, it's very involved, so.
And that's why I was so concerned about money.
Yeah,
We won't have any.
so, I saw you were gonna talk about that, so go.
So this was the second piece I put on this summer. And maybe I'm a little bit John the Baptist on this, maybe I'm Jeff the Baptist on this. I started hollering early in the summer about, and asking several CPA firms that I really respect, you've got townships, some with very low and some at zero, who have been blessed with a good amount of lit. And so they've looked at it and said, well, let's deliver property tax relief. So you have a zero civil levy right now. You know where your fire levy was. It was a pretty solid fire levy, but you balance that by next to no, you just had no civil levy at all, zero. And then you lived and operated the civil side of the township on lit. So with lit changing and perhaps going away, and not everyone necessarily realizing it, the counselors may need to realize it if you get a chance to speak to them. I went through and kind of pieced together how you find out. DLGF puts out, Beth, you probably know some of this, so does Tammy. You can look at the DLGF website. It looked better in color, but I went circling. You can go and get this 25 estimated max levy report, and you can enter your stuff in and manipulate it. You're a great big goose egg on civil levy. Yeah, well, buddy, I used you for my, and I blacked it out because they didn't want to embarrass you, but you're the one I used.
I'm not ashamed of it. I'm proud that we've been able to operate without, giving back to the community without having higher
Sure.
taxes.
But what you will have to do as part of this examination, it's appropriate for getting some professional help. You can, if you have no existing levy, I put the code in here and I sent it to you and Bill. There is code if you have no levy. If you have a very low levy, I don't know what to do for you. If you have no levy, there is a code, and you need to get it into DLGF before June 30 to get a levy established. And like you and I spoke, I don't think that means June 24th. I think probably this dialogue needs to be
Yes, get it done long before.
in the spring, because I'm sure this may come as some, they're just very busy and behind, to get into that discussion with them. So as we do this budget, this budget will kind of guide on the civil side a little bit, the amount of levy you need to ask them for to run, because you're going to lose all the fire. Fire's going to turn off after December. And then if, maybe the lit date's in here. Then
My concern, Jeff, is knowing when we will no longer get lit money. So our cash balance we have in general fund, and I know we're getting lit money next year, but after 26, if we're not getting any lit money in 27,
Here's
then
what I
our
have.
cash balances ending in 26 have to be great enough to cover our budget for 27 until we get,
You're gonna have to, that's why we can't wait till 27 to ask for this levy. We've got to ask in 26, so it kicks in. What I have in here, and we can double check, because I'm sure I used other materials. The local income tax councils, the councils that decide, well, you get this and you get that, abolished July 1st of 27. The county fiscal body becomes the adopting body for all lit except for municipal rates. So they're getting rid of this separate body. It all goes to the county council. Certified shares in public safety lit don't exist after December 31st of 27. So we can check on that. And then I've heard, but just speculation, because it's not as like June, December drag, but a little bit comes out in shorter intervals. There might be a true up payment early in 28, but there might not. But when that lit is, if the council doesn't adopt an unincorporated lit for you, you will not have lit, or the law changes.
my next question is, always in May, or not every year, but most years, we get a supplemental, and that's just where they make an adjustment based on 2 years prior of our local income tax. And we've always put that in our rainy day fund. So the balance we have in rainy day, if we don't have anything listed to spend that rainy day money on, can that go back into our general fund or into our township assistance fund to help us to bridge it until we get a rate or have other revenues?
I think whatever the rules are for appropriating out a rainy day, I think we can cover any gaps.
Just leave it in rainy day and appropriate what we need, that we would normally spend out of general fund.
From that fund. You can't transfer it, but yeah.
And it's still gotta be appropriated.
Yeah, it has to be.
Yeah. I know it has to be appropriated.
So are they still, you think, gonna have the rainy day fund?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
It's only
So
certain
we
things
will-
can go
that
in
won't
there.
be
You can't
subject-
just put whatever you want.
Well, it will be subject to,
They tell you what.
if you go through and you kind of study this,
I just glanced at it.
if you look at, I just, because I'm a dumb lawyer, just came up with $1 million and then used $1 million as examples and stripped off and stripped off. If you don't receive any new monies at all, eventually it'll draw you down to where, but if you've got money coming in, it's only gonna, and it's it's unspoken for. You can't find a project to participate on, or no one wants to participate with you. Third, you will automatically be entered into being a participant in the road fund. So only 30% will go to that. So I just kind of did a formula here for you to look at. If you had $1 million in all your funds total, and you had restricted funds of 600, and next year's budget's 200, that only yields 200 to be eligible for the road fund. And then 30% of that is 60. So even if you have 200 that's not spoken for, you've got 140 that you still have to go toward savings and rainy day or contingency, or trucks get total, axles break, metal rusts. I mean, metal, water, and oxygen, your stuff, it's gonna win eventually. So they may come around and say, hey, yes, the territory's handling it, but we've got to get an apparatus. I mean, you can then have something to put toward that. So it's not going to wipe you out. What it would do is, if you don't have any additional funds, if you don't have any funds that you can find to participate in projects on, it will eventually bring you
So
down
it would
pretty.
decrease, so if we didn't have it appropriated or earmarked, it would decrease the following year.
I think so. I think what it's going to do, and I think there's a lot of people crying, how detrimental it's going to be. No, we're all just gonna have to work a little harder and look and see, hey, what are our actual needs for projects and this and that, and make a plan for it.
We're one of the faster growing areas, and we've definitely got a need.
Everything I've heard from everything outside is, because I'm working on it both these couple of years, it's already gone through McCordsville and
Yes.
Fortville. That's done. That's already found. It's coming your way and it's going up Lapel, Pendleton.
It's not coming all the way, it's here.
Well,
I know what you,
yeah.
so, okay. All right, fantastic.
Thank you.
So just, you know, there may be even better stuff since deal, Jeff, but I wanted you to have it, so, yeah, we gotta do this budget, but this budget's gonna really kind of have effects for the next couple of years. Definitely, you gotta have to work on that levy. And the thing is, get that levy where you need it. You can budget under the levy. You can't go, oops.
Shouldn't we budget over?
I was
Oh,
gonna
yeah,
say,
you can
Yeah,
budget under
I
the
think
levy.
always you should budget over. We always did that in the at the county. We always budgeted more. Because that way, if they come back and say, well, you can't have this because of whatever reason, sometimes they come back and tell us on our 1782s that, okay, well, you can't have this much, and then you're not up to the levy. So it's just better to go over, and then you can always,
The levy will just be subject to whatever they put in as future growth rates. And the thing is, I think your growth rate,
4%, is it?
well, I don't even know exactly what they're doing with that now, but I'm with you. Anticipate your maximum needs for this levy opportunity you'll have next year, but still budget within the actual demand. Because that's what comes out on the actual tax bill. And get plugged in with those counselors, let them know. It's like, hey, you know, we have to go pursue a levy because, you know.
well,
My old boss is on the county council, so that'll be an easy one for me. She's one of my best friends, so.
And you can talk to her too. I mean, if they would do the 0.02 or 0.05, that's going to impact how much the actually has to be, you know, charged out in tax.
you know, Beth brought up a great thing. It's the same, you're saying be advocates. And Beth and I just talked recently, she brought up a great thing that I think the trustees, and it's like I'm gonna have to spearhead it, but I think we need to get together and talk as units and educate the public on what we really do. Because we're I don't want to use the word archaic, but we're one of the oldest forms of government that assists the public out there. I mean, you know, from poor relief, clothing, food, cemeteries, you know, we've got so much, you know, fire departments. It even used to be in charge of the schools at one point. But people just don't understand how important the trustee's office is to the community, because we're just one of those silent little organizations that's out here helping and doing things. Plainfield, they've got their parks department and all these things that address the quality of life for everybody. So, and that's just so important. That's just so important for you know, for the well-being of everybody. So anyway, okay. Yeah.
Are there any departments not going to the council since this came out? I think they're all going.
Yeah, we have been to pretty much every meeting since, just trying to learn and get to know the players and understand the system. As you're aware, we went downtown as well and sat there ready to testify, and we've made our appearance and we've shook hands and asked questions, because that's what's the only way we're gonna get answers.
The
So
fire department has such a huge learning curve, and they have not much time to figure it out. And yeah, I mean, you guys are doing great with what you're doing, you know, I feel blessed. Jeff, am I interrupting, or were you about done? Or? I know you're just hurry, so we're paying you for
Sure,
longer.
yeah, I know.
We've got to pick the dates, you said.
I'd say get those dates, and I just wanted to bring you up to speed, because if I were to come in here and just say it's just another normal year and a normal budget, I would be underserving you.
Because you can see what Beth is about. Beth, I gave Patsy, you know, the calendar that I prepared.
Yeah.
So she's got, no, you hang on to that, because she's got the dates that you were requesting or not available. So I want to set at the earliest, what would it be, Monday before we could get the notice in?
It'll be Thursday.
If I know the next couple of days, I can put the notice in Monday.
Right, that's
But then we
okay.
can have
Thursday.
It has to be then,
Wednesday, you're available, Beth?
Not this was, no, we've got to go 10 days out. I've got to find out when we can get the
10 days from
notice
that
in.
is the 15th.
So the 15th, we could.
The week of the 15th would be a great week.
There's nothing listed.
'cause
That
the
means
conference is the
They're
next
available.
I can't do the 15th.
Whatever, you can't do the 15th?
I can't do the 15th.
Okay, the dates I've got.
But then keep in mind,
are
we've gotta
dates
have
that
2 weeks.
Were a conflict for
I
somebody.
could do the
Between
So
16th.
what I was
that and
hoping to do, go home
And
and
that'll
write down
work,
dates you
because that would
can't.
take us, well, it would take
And,
us
also
to
down
Jeff's
to the
birthday,
calendar.
but maybe Jeff
This
won't
is a
have.
conference, so I'll be at.
Okay, well, mark that, yeah, mark those things.
I mean, you
down.
may not have to, do you have to come to the, to that one? I mean, if we've already had.
I
a-
want him there.
If you go to the 17th, then you could do the first week of October, couldn't you?
Well, we have to turn the CIP in on 30th.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I'm just saying, I thought we were looking at the
17th is a
17th.
Friday.
I'm looking at September.
Oh,
Yeah, September
Wednesday.
17th for the public
Yeah,
hearing.
just throw the August.
Yeah.
You could adopt it right then.
Oh, you can do the public hearing and
yeah.
adoption?
Oh, we don't have to have a
Sure.
public hearing and adoption for the CIP.
Yeah, you
Oh.
just,
Okay,
Yeah.
well, then that'll be all
I
right.
didn't know that.
no, yeah, you,
No, I did not. I thought we had to have two like we do on our budget.
I'll be really frank and they could come and straighten me out. I'm not seeing necessarily in the CIP code that it has to be published. I'm getting feedback and DLGF has said, I'm trying to think, no, they were talking about the council. State Board of Accounts wants it published.
Yeah.
We are not going to get a clear answer between now and September 30th, whether or not we arm wrestle with them over is Jeff right or not versus let's just run it and over comply. There's no problem with that. We've let the public know. And then maybe next year we'll have a clearer answer because I don't see a reference to Title 5.3
For a second. meeting.
So on the
for a
17th,
published.
on the 17th, we'll have our public hearing on the budget, and we'll have the adoption of the CIP. And then you said October 1st, we can do the
Whenever
budget option or whatever, just
Whatever
as
you
long
want
as
to
we
do.
get it and we can get it in the computer before November.
September 7th.
Not on the
Maybe it's
first,
November 3rd
because
or
I have a
something.
meeting on the first.
Do you need it live?
Oh, wait, the first would work, actually. for me.
The 1st of October will
Eighth,
work.
I don't
Yeah,
care when it
eighth
is.
won't work for me.
What's up?
I'm just trying to make sure we get it all in,
Right.
and then if we have a
First.
hiccup and we have to cancel it and reschedule it, we still
She
have,
said the 8th, so.
I
You
have
got
a
backup.
public hearing.
yeah, we have time to, say, okay, it has to be canceled, and
I have a public hearing template if you don't have it.
Well,
For this.
She's got her meetings at her other office.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the
we're
7th,
looking at the
so the-
17th,
and the 1st, 17th and the 1st?
the 17th of September,
Those
and the
will
1st of
work for me.
October.
Yes, those will work for me. Will they work for you, Patsy?
Yes,
Do you have to have it live?
Jeff, will they work for
Pardon?
you?
You have to have it live on the
Yes.
17th because I can't be here on the 17th.
Well, we could have it set up though.
All right.
Okay.
17th and the 1st.
is it at 5 or 6?
Like this 5.
Five.
5? Okay.
Fine.
Beth, we need to make a motion.
Do you want to do both dates
I
now?
don't know that we need a motion. We just need to
We're just
say,
scheduling and
plan that
notifying.
our
Yeah,
next
we don't-
meeting will be on September 17th.
We just need to advertise it. Okay, October 1st, September 17th, 5 PM, and we're going to do it here. This seems to be a whole lot more conducive. I mean, I can't imagine trying to record in that little room.
Is that going to be the first draft of our budget also?
Yes,
Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
yes. And I will send those out beforehand.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I knew that was coming.
I'm predictable if nothing else.
Yes.
All right. Is there any more discussion?
No, but I do want to take a second before, this being our inaugural televised meeting, the first one, for the ages, but I want to take a minute and just recognize everybody that's involved here. I mean, we've got Beth Harvey, who brings us, forgive me, I'm not going to try to date anybody here, for everybody here, but decades of experience. She's also works at the, what is Guilford Township trustee's office. I mean, her knowledge is invaluable. And and she's not afraid to correct me. So, I mean, she's actually just been fantastic. You have Patsy Nguyen, who's also been in her position for decades and has a lot of knowledge and input and opinions about how things should be done. And I mean, they're just, it's invaluable to us. And Jeff, just your knowledge and ability to recall is fantastic, and it's very much appreciated, and your guidance is incredible. I mean, how you recall those things, I don't know, so. And then I'm gonna bring up Tammy, the voice you hear in the background. She worked for the county for many, many years, doing the exact thing we're doing here with budgets and assistance and things, so she knows this stuff inside and out. I'm proud to say that Center Township is well represented in these services and our mission. So just a big thank you to everybody. Thank you.
Can I say something?
And Jeff, yes, please.
On the 25th of July, we received the final determination, findings of facts and conclusions of law. That always grind my guts when I see an email come from DLGF after I turned in a territory and see an attachment. And we did kind of ride the roller coaster on Senate Bill 1, but you were approved. It was procedurally correct on everything we did, and we thought some of the language used in here also was better than we thought. We kind of powwowed after, and so I want to say to our longer serving board members and our trustee, congratulations. You worked really hard on this. Congratulations to the board members. You worked really hard on this a couple of times.
A lot of times.
My anxiety the day before the vote, I was printing things and getting them going, and I got into my file and I couldn't find anything, and I was literally in a full-on freak out, and I was in the 2010 effort. I was in the 2010 file. You've been at this 15 years trying to figure this out of, the contract and all these other things. So congratulations to you. This, hopefully folks will recognize this is a big deal for public safety for your community, and it's setting some things up to allow a sustainable future in that realm. So still don't have the equipment replacement fund stuff. Hopefully we hear about that soonish, but just wanted you to be acknowledged and recognized for what you got accomplished.
Absolutely.
For all your help.
Yes. Patsy, do you have anything you want to say?
No, I'm just happy that we got through all this tonight, and everybody seems pleasant, and I appreciate that.
Yes. Beth, anything? Or
I'm good. I look forward to
You
the
could read-
next
it's
meeting.
only, you get the first time only once, so.
Oh, I have one quick question.
Yes.
Now, Bill, do you notify the county chairman of these resignation, or how does that work?
It would be the Republican Party, I believe.
We can work on that.
Yeah, and yes, because there is a process. So we'll take care of that.
Okay.
And, I'll say thank you to Dee Oliphant for everything she did and helping us guide and voting her conscience. So, absolutely, she served well and, very proud of everything.
You have a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion that we adjourn the meeting.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.